line. So here we started on E, and the right hand is just going to play E, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp. So the very first time it does 3 E's. And then it repeats. And again. And then to end. So for the first notes here that you see in the right hand, we haven't got anything playing at all in the left hand. So that's alone. When we get to the note A, we're going to add a left hand A chord here. And all I'm going to play in the left hand is an octave on A. And you can notice as well that I snuck an extra E in my right hand there. So you don't have to do that, but I like the sound of it. So that's just a little E underneath the right. And then when I go to this G sharp, my left hand will now play the E chord. And again, I'm just doing octaves in my left. I'm not playing any extra chord notes. So it starts. So that was it, 3 times. Now we're here. So as the right hand comes down, we're still holding the E chord from before. And when we get to F sharp, it would sound terrible if we stayed on the E. We're switching chords now, changing to a B chord. So when you get to this F sharp, we'll have B. And again, I'm playing a little note underneath the F sharp, just to make it sound pretty. So if you notice the extra note I'm playing, it's F sharp with the little D sharp under there, because a B major chord is B, D sharp, and F sharp. Alright, so the next section we're going to learn is the first verse, and you can compare it to the intro and see that we're going to use the same 3 left-hand octaves. We're going to have A, E, and B, and the right hand is going to just play the outline of the chords from each of these roots. But we're going to also be hearing some of this melody in between the chords. So it'll sound kind of complicated, but if you know the intro, you sort of already know the first verse. So this starts off. Starting off with those E notes. And now instead of just playing a single melody note in the right hand, I'm playing the full chord. So I've got A, E, and C sharp. And then the next thing I do is keep my finger on E while I change to B and G. So the right hand, that's the simplest way you can play it. But in order to differentiate it from the intro, we can add a little bit more rhythm into those exact notes. The chord notes with a bit of melody in between, and then just adding a little bit of rhythmic vibe with mostly my thumb, and just sort of alternating between left and right thumb. So the ending, and in the verse this section repeats twice. So the next part is the chorus. And you can see again we've got A, E, and B happening in the left hand. And some of the notes that we've used before are being used again. But we're leaving off the top ones. So the melody changes a little bit. and the B is the same. There's just one extra chord, and that's the C sharp chord. C sharp minor uses these two notes in the right hand, and this little box shows the melody that comes down. And I just drew another box here because it's the same notes the next time. So you can see them coming down, G sharp, F sharp, E, and then two notes with A. I repeat the right, and then I change to E and B while I go down to this E, and then the melody again, this time with C sharp minor. And from this, I go right to D and D sharp and F sharp, and then I play the B. And the whole thing repeats. But now we don't play the C sharp. So the second time through, we skip playing this one. So again, here we have the chorus. There's one more section. Alright, and so the bridge of this piece has lots of vampy chords in it. It has A, and then B, and it repeats, and then D, and then B, and that repeats. What I've got to start with is in the left hand, when I'm playing A, I might play three notes. Instead of just an octave in my left hand, I might actually add that E in the middle. So I would have A, E, A, coming through all of that in my left hand. And in the right hand, I'm also playing three notes. I'm playing C sharp, B, and A, and that just gives it lots of sound. And when I get to the B, down here I'm playing B, F sharp, and B, and in the right hand I'm just playing D sharp and F sharp. So that's going to give us really lots of texture. And then when it comes back around, I like to bring this down an octave. So it's the same three notes in my left hand. What that does is gives me an opportunity to add an extra note in my right to play the thumb on this other A. Lets me play an extra thumb B in the right hand. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it does fill it in more. And then the next bit comes a little higher. So it's a D chord with then moving to a B. So the D chord, I'm actually just holding octaves in my left. But in the right I'm playing A, D, F sharp, and A. So D, F sharp, and A is your D chord with an extra A underneath, so all four of those notes. So down here I'm going to play B octaves and just B, D sharp, F sharp, same as I was playing before. And this repeats. Just to loop us back through. So when we're playing that E chord, we'll have the right hand chords of E, which are E, G sharp, and B, but I like to put an extra B on the bottom. So that brings us back around. Section. So the pattern of the piece, it starts off with a verse, and then it does a chorus, and then another verse, and then you come through this bridge, and then you go back into the chorus twice.